Good morning, Dopey. Your favorite podcast. Now able to show.
Good morning, Dopey, and welcome to Good Morning, Dopey. I had this big I'm Dave, and Howie's with me. Howie looks really good.
Yeah. I don't know about really good, but
Are you wearing the Dopey socks too, or just the hat?
I am.
Yeah?
I see them, but
You know, I ordered you a Dopey hoodie, Howie, just so you know.
that's what she said.
It's on its way. Why would she say that?
I don't know.
I was going to start a new trend where, you know how people say peace, right?
Yeah.
I was going to do this where peace is also like a bunny rabbit.
Mm.
Have you ever thought about that?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Someone's calling in.
Oh, a
Who
special
could
guest.
it be?
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Okay, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh my
Could
God.
You be mine?
We're recording. We're rolling.
Okay.
Welcome
Okay.
to the show. Ask Aaron Carr, strung out author, friend of the show, contributor, writing consigliere, best-selling author, unlicensed advice giver. What do you think?
Sure.
What do you mean, sure?
Was that enthusiastic?
Well, today is February 20th, right?
Yes.
Today is February 20th. How are you feeling? Ask Aaron Carr. I'm
I'm
saying
not
it's
gonna-
February 20th because in reality, on February 16th, Aaron's friend and renowned writer, father, hedge fund guy, and addict, David Poses died yesterday.
Yeah.
And Aaron is emotional, and I'm sorry.
I am. Thank you. I mean, yeah, I feel, I'm sad. And it's actually probably a really good time to do a daily reflection for me. Because it's certainly, I think when we go through things like this in recovery, it's really important to have something to ground us. And this is, as much as, I was resistant to the daily reflections at first, I think this is helpful.
Wow. So wait a second. You wouldn't believe how many phone calls, and Howie, put yourself on the screen for this. You wouldn't believe how many phone calls I've had with Ask Aaron when I'd be like, Dopey YouTube sucks. It's falling apart. Howie's an idiot. And Aaron says, listen, Dopey YouTube does suck, and Howie definitely is an idiot. But the reason is because the daily reflections are so stupid. Now look at Ask Aaron Carr coming back and saying the thing that's pulling her out of her misery is the daily reflections.
Yep.
We call that
I
full
never
circle.
said they were stupid.
Stupid.
I just said that I didn't watch them
Think you
every
did.
day.
A waste of time, right?
didn't say
Dave,
that.
why are you wasting your time with that stupid daily reflections every
Right.
day? Oh, and she said the only thing stupid, this is the best part. She said the only thing stupider than the daily reflections is the ice cream.
Oh.
And the only
you
thing,
just said
that's
me.
all we do. All we do is the daily reflections of the ice
First
cream.
of all, I never said either were stupid. I don't like watching or listening to people eat.
Who does? Nobody does. This is Howie's stupid idea.
The only thing I like that's like an eating thing is that stupid hot wings thing.
Yes.
See, I just said stupid. You made me say stupid. Is that hot wings thing? I think that's entertaining.
How
We
do
were
we
just talking
tap
about
into
that.
the success of the hot wings thing for the ice cream?
Don't eat melty ice cream.
All right, hold
I
on.
think
Now,
it's
wouldn't
the-
you say that Howie looks like he's a member of like one of these elk clubs with the weird dopey hat looking kind of like a fez?
I look like
Yeah,
Do I?
yeah.
maybe.
Do you think we could
Yeah,
start
it is a
some
little
kind of
fezzy.
thing
Elk
where
Club?
everybody,
What we did, we
Like a
started a
cult?
Discord.
yeah, like some sort of like a club,
The
and-
Discord.
shush, 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 where everyone wears the hat.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Can we play like pool and darts?
Yeah.
We can do all that stuff. But Howie started another innovation in the Dopey world, which is Dopey Discord. Do you want to tell
Yes.
Aaron about Dopey Discord?
Do you know
I
what Discord
joined
is?
already. Yeah, I already joined Dopey
we go.
Discord. Yes, I know it. I'm in I joined Discord
100
because like this
Discords?
writer I know started like this writing Discord, but I don't really. I mean, I hadn't really used it that much. But yes,
We're going to
I'm in
circle
there.
back on David Poses and his greatness and the tragedy of his death. Do you want to say something briefly about him just because we mentioned it?
sure. I mean, I think the important thing to remember whenever we lose somebody, is that, no matter how their life ended, the life and what they did while they were here really mattered. And that was certainly true for David. He did a lot of advocacy and speaking and work with legislation and medical professionals and law enforcement to destigmatize and increase access to harm reduction and life-saving medication. And I think that that's his legacy. His legacy is that, he did a lot while he was here to help other people. And, we lost somebody that really meant a lot to he meant a lot to a lot of people.
And he was one of us. He was an addict.
Yes.
He was a Jew too, right?
Yes.
He was kind of like Howie, and he's kind of like us. His last big appearance was on Mayim Bialik's show, Howie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And he wrote a book called The Weight of Air, right?
Yes.
And
it just came out
I wanted
last
him.
summer.
Yeah, and I wanted him to come on Dopey, and he had said he wanted to come on Dopey, and now it's never going to happen. So this daily reflection episode is dedicated to David Poses, and I'm sorry, Aaron, for your loss, and obviously our heart goes out to his family. He had 2 kids. It's very sad. Anyway, to turn the corner on this, today's February 20th, and our daily reflection is called The Gift of Laughter. Right?
This is so
Either-
appropriate for him, because I have to tell you that, even in his darkest moments, he was the person who always found the humor in things. And when there were times when I spoke to him when he wasn't in a good place, and he still managed to make me laugh. So this is really appropriate that this is the one we're doing today.
Awesome. But he also hated AA, so maybe this is not perfect, but it's kind of perfect. At this juncture, his AA sponsor usually laughs. Before my recovery from alcoholism began, laughter was one of the most painful sounds I knew. I never laughed, and I felt that anyone else's laughter was directed at me. I'm sure that's how Howie still feels. Right, Howie?
Everybody's always laughing at me.
It's because of that hat.
Probably.
My self-pity and anger denied me the simplest of pleasures or lightness of heart. By the end of my drinking, not even alcohol could provoke a drunken giggle in me. When my AA sponsor began to laugh and point out my self-pity and ego-feeding deceptions, I was annoyed and hurt. But it taught me to lighten up and focus on my recovery. I soon learned to laugh at myself, and eventually I taught those I sponsored to laugh also. Every day I ask God to help me stop taking myself too seriously. That's a beautiful daily reflection. And I can relate. Oh, is that the sound effect for the like, subscribe, and
Yeah. We had to move away from that other one.
the
It
bong
was
hit wasn't
triggering.
working?
It works for someone like me, but I think for other people it's a little triggering.
Yeah, we had a bong hit for the like, subscribe, comment, and I was like, oh, that's really clever. And then I heard the bong hit. I was like, is someone getting high while
Yeah.
doing the show?
It's better to have just some sort of annoying sound.
Neutral.
I can relate to this daily reflection. I know at my worst, I could kind of decide that laughter was against me at my worst. You know what I mean? When I was my most in my misery, I could feel like if people were laughing like that, I wasn't in on the joke. And I definitely use laughter to get myself out of bad situations. And I mean, the whole point of Dopey is this, the gift of laughter, like laughing at the worst stuff, finding something funny in the worst things, because if you don't, then where are you at? Like, I think an ability to find something funny in the worst stuff is it's a recipe for not having a miserable life. Ask Aaron, what do you
100%.
think?
Oh, I would agree 100%. I mean, it's like, you and I have talked about this before. I have it in my book, like that Mark Twain quote, tragedy plus time equals comedy. The reason that we generally find things funny is because we're able to laugh at the ridiculousness of our humanity, right? That's what's funny. I mean, as human beings, we do and say ridiculous things and get ourselves into ridiculous situations. And I think that, the ability to see yourself through that lens is much kinder than like the self-hatred lens that so many of us can like get ourselves into. And if nothing else, I think we have that laughter, and it's something that nobody, I mean, of course, people, you could argue that people can do things to try and make you miserable so that you don't laugh. But I think that it's so important to be able to find that levity, because otherwise, I mean, you just look at the world right now and it's, you could get yourself into a whole, black hole of misery over just the state of the world. So we have to find those moments. And I think it's essential that we do that together.
Well, it's better. We're way better off being able to find, like when things go colossally wrong. I mean, like that's when I'm at my easiest place to like have a laughing attack. You know what I mean? When I'm like pressed way down. Howard, you're very unlike you in your silence right now.
What am I going to interrupt everybody?
What are your thoughts about this, Howie?
I think laughter is the best medicine. I love laughing. I love making people laugh. Like that's my favorite thing. Making people laugh, knowing that I'll get a laugh, especially my wife or kids.
Linda doesn't laugh at anything I say, ever.
I mean, she's a tough critic as well, but I know there are certain things that she's going to laugh at, and that's great. It makes me feel good, but also it makes her feel good. So I think it's great medicine. It's a great coping mechanism to deal with, the toughest things in life. But something you said before, maybe I misunderstood. It almost sounded like you were saying a fear of people laughing at you.
Well, that's what the reading said.
Yeah.
The reading said that. Hold on. The reading said, before my recovery from alcoholism began, laughter was one of the most painful sounds I knew. I never laughed, and I felt that anyone else's laughter was directed at me.
At me, yeah.
But really, it's about feeling left out. It's feeling not a part of. It's like it's like I was watching. I don't remember where I was. It's funny. I think I was walking uptown in Manhattan, and I was watching kids play on the fields at Hudson Yards, or like at one of the schools down there, and I was watching these kids play, and I was remembering when I was a kid, I was so bad at sports, and I think one of the reasons, besides being uncoordinated and whatever Jewish, I think I was so in my head that I couldn't play.
Yeah.
Like I was so focused on what was happening that I couldn't play the game.
Right.
Like and like that's why I'm much better. I mean, like I'm still not good at sports, but I'm so much better at sports now than when I was a kid, because I don't care anymore. And I think like the idea, I'm thinking, what's he thinking? Does he know that I suck?
Doesn't matter.
He thinks I suck. And I think that the idea of hearing laughter and being in your head, you don't think, you can't find the funny, and you don't feel part of it in the same kind of way. Anyway,
well said.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. And Aaron, we're very sorry for your loss, and sorry for the world's loss. And I'm sorry that he didn't get to come on the show.
Yeah.
But what are we gonna do? We're gonna find a way to. I mean, we can't laugh at his death, but we'll find ways to laugh at the funny things that he wrote, and hope that his kids get through this thing, and his wife.
And I just want to say, like, because, I think for so many of us, like, being in recovery, we lose people all the time. And I think that, like, I had a friend years ago who wrote a song for somebody who passed away. And there was a line in the song that I always remember that she said, "I will live. This is my gift to you. I'll live." And I always think of that when we lose somebody, like, what they brought something to our life, and what we can give back to them is to live and to be here and to stay. And if there's anyone watching that's like struggling, like, just stay. Like, it does get better. Just stay.
Right. It's it's hard because obviously Dopey is kind of built on a lot of death, and it wasn't intended to be, but that's just how it happened. And today there was a young man named Andrew who was a huge Dopey fan, and he was actually a Dopey intern. And I met with him at Beans right by your house on like 12th Street and Broadway, and we had coffee, and we talked about all the work he was going to do. And the next day, his father wrote me that he was dead. And just now, before we started recording, I got a message from his mother. I always hear from his mother, and she was just saying, like, she was talking about, what we do, what Dopey does, other people, how they deal with relapse and the conversation and that. So even when the person is gone, we're still here, like you said, and we need to make, we don't need to do anything. We don't need to make the best of it. We don't need to find a way to laugh at it. But I think just by doing that stuff, it offers the best opportunity for someone else to not be in total misery and chaos. So I'm glad that we get to do it. I know that you think this is a total waste of time and garbage, but I know that if we even help one person out
She
there,
doesn't care.
Aaron, for shame on you.
That's the first thing that
Shame.
people say about me is that I
Shame.
just don't give a fuck.
I know that you don't. You know that since we're not reaching thousands of people, that this is not worth doing. But I know in my heart that if one person, no, seriously, I'm super happy to have you here, and I'm super happy to offer hope to somebody. And like you said, I think when someone is at their worst, please try to reach out, even though it's unnatural. Please just try, because you can have the best day tomorrow. You can have the best year in 2 years. Something good is around the corner. And I guess we'll leave it at that, right?
Yeah, I think
All right.
that's a good place to leave it.
Thank you. Stay strong, Dopey Nation. Fucking toodles for Chris, for David, for Andrew, for Todd, for Colleen MC. There's so many people who have died. Stay strong, everybody, and for anybody who you guys lost, be well. Later.
Dopey, I'm face down on the floor.